Alright, so we're jumping right into game number one here, guys. So we have Thantuk here at 12 in yellow, obviously as Shang and Kwang'an Embe, also known as Embe. So I'm just going to be referring to Kwang'an. He's called Kwang'an on DE, but his Embe for us. Um, we have this match. Both players look to be going for the berries. This berry patch is really tough, though, for Thantuk. Maybe hoping to find these gazelle in time, but it's going to be too far to push, so he's going to have to drop the granary, and so will Embe. Neither player really close to this, but Embe with two elephants here. Two elephants here. It's a lot of elephants. And two elephants here. He got all the elephants. Oh no. All the elephants. Elephants, elephants, and elephants. All six on the map, I believe. There's not like a seventh. Okay, there's a seventh over here, but that's so far away from his map. I think we're going to be running into an issue here with the food differential for Embe being a little bit in his favor. And also, Thantuk's map is really, really bad. He already killed one of his gazelle too soon, and that's going to hurt him a lot. I think he really needs all of this food to be strong. He really needs that to be strong. He can't let that die. But anyway, here's the minimap real quick so you guys can get a sense of this. We have the crossing in the middle here. And that's about the only that's the biggest feature to gather from this. A big thing about that is that Thantuk doesn't have wood. His closest wood is here. And that's a really shitty wood line. It's kind of awkwardly on a hill, and he might have to build it here. There's a gazelle right here, but he'll have to maybe pit here. I guess this would be a clever spot for a storage pit, and that's really far. So I don't know how quickly he's going to find that. And he's got a lion blocking his way. Oh man. I think that Embe has a really strong start here. This elephant. Oh man. This elephant influx. Well, not influx. This elephant differential is really tough for Thantuk. But like I said, in the game versus Vudai, Thantuk played very well. He played at a top level. So I'm excited to see how he can compete in this against Embe. Has he found wood yet? Oh! Da-na-na! This is super anime. They're sparring off, you know? The house on the hill wins. It has the advantage. It has the uphill bonus. Man. Not too much to say. I'm gonna check the timeline real quick. Villager advantage to Embe here. Just, it looks like he's had a few second lead on villagers for a minute or so, or the past couple of minutes. Yeah, and so this is where Thantuk has gone with his storage pit. It's probably the best spot for him, as it has, at least he got two gazelle. It looks like this one got spread out a bit too much, and that one I did as well, which is going to probably hurt him, especially considering that this gazelle is still out here unlured. That's a lot of food that I think he kind of needs, but remember, this is Shang, so even if a map looks a little worse, you know, you're going to have access to that food, because you don't need as much food. You don't have access to that food, you just don't need as much food. Which is kind of the beauty of Shang, and why this matchup is so cool. It can be a very aggressive map. And this villager for Embe, I think he's going to be building a barracks right here. And he's going to be going for axers, I believe, because he has a really fast time here. He's got the wood income. I think he may have already clicked. It's 6 minutes in. 1919. Are we going to see 20, or have the players clicked? They may have clicked. Both players have transitioned heavily into wood, which would make me assume that they are going into a heavy wood, or they've already clicked tool, sorry, because they've gone heavy wood. And here's the barracks from Embe, right on this hill. As you'd expect, this is going to be a really strong position for him. It has control of this crossing. This hill is actually going to be really important for this game. I think the early controller of this, whoever can maintain control of this hill, will pretty much indirectly control this crossing. Not indirectly, directly control this crossing, as it overlooks the crossing. You know, slingers up here are going to fire down on ships, which is just going to make them even more powerful in that matchup. Axers can defend this wall for Embe. It's really smart that he's come across this. Defending it from this side is not going to be nearly as easy. Meanwhile, Thantuk is building up at home, probably for the best. He probably realizes that he is a little behind. Both players are sticking with 19 vills. Did someone lose a villager? I must have missed something. Someone died. No, no one died. Look, it looks weird at the edge there. Oh, I guess that was just Thantuk Embe catching up in vills or something. Anyway, focusing on the combat here, this clubber is out, and this clubber did make it in, but he gets pushed back. Thantuk getting the house wall up just in time. Right as he pushes that potential axeman out of his base. So this isn't walled, however. So Kwangwon's going to walk around, and this gazelle being dead here means that he can't place any wall tiles there. So he's going to have to do some weird jank walls here. And these are the axe upgrades coming in. 1919 still, but the 30-second tool time advantage for Embe might be enough to call the game. Oh no. Not call the game, just side the game, rather. So this decaying gazelle is currently part of his wall tile, so it's a little stressful when that happens. Oh, and one of his potential axers is inside. Oh, I see, so he's going slingers inside of his base. A really important note for him is that in going for slingers here, he's walled himself out of all of his stone resources, so he's going to have to do a long walk here, and hopefully no one ever finds that. Right? Because he's ceded, by walling in his slingers here, he's conceded the rest of the map to these axers as they roam around, while his only army is in here, right? So that means that that Embe can find the stone and cut off the slinger supply, which looks like he's going to do with these guys. These few villagers need to find somewhere new to hide. He does have some gazelle left to do. The migration over here to hide away somewhere. Meanwhile, Embe at home seems pretty unperturbed. He doesn't need the wall yet. He got the crossing wall. There's no other way across. So as long as the dog coming after him. Oh, and this is walled. I didn't quite notice this. Alright, so Thantuk moving out with the slingers. He may have made the right move here. So we've seen this a few times tonight and in this tournament, that slingers, once grouped, are beating axers on this map. Axers just cannot get the numbers, it seems. But this is Embe we're talking about. I think he's gonna have enough axers. The quick wall fails. Oh, he gets it! So he only sacks one vill for this mistake. He moved the slingers out maybe a little bit too soon. I think that would be an error. But these are fully upgraded axers. They're not too damaged. And Embe's gonna needs to be careful that he doesn't run his axers in one at a time, and he's gonna get us around. And the hill is not gonna be enough here. Thantuk needs to run. Oh no. Economy 23 for Embe. That is quite the lead here, as it's all these ships too. That was a 4 vil lead, and he's able to invest some of this wood that he's gathering into docks, and he's going to power way ahead of Thantuk in terms of production with his food income, and there's the GG already. Thantuk understanding the threat of what's happening, he must have known. I mean, once these axers get in, it's just over. Did he overchop? No, he just walked in through here. So maybe I think we can give that up for the map. I think Thantuk had a really, really rough map. Like, that's hard. That's a hard map to overcome. It's playable, by all means, but I think when he messed up his gazelle lure a bit, he really gimped his food income, and you saw that immediately. Like, if he had gone for a decent wood line and had good food income with all of his gazelle, but one died over here and he lured this other one over just too late, and it just didn't pan out for him. But anyway, that was game 1. That was really close. Not really. It was pretty close. I would say that Embe just took a really commanding lead there. Wait. Did I do this right? No. Sorry, it's not as obvious which is left and which is right. So when I did that, whatever. That's c'est la vie. So let's grab the bracket is not updated, so I need to close that. Oh, what am I doing? I'm showing so many things. Create. So we are going to jump right into game number 2. Excuse me while I yawn. I do apologize. So in this moment, I'm going to read the chat real quick because there are a bunch of things going on. Okay, so last I saw was update the bracket. Now, trade boat, it's still the same? Huh, I didn't know about that Muskester. I thought they got the trade bonus in DE. Do they not? That's strange. And yes, Black Widow, it was very strange that Vudai lost to Thon. It was a bit of an upset, but, I mean, as we can see, he's competing against Mbe. See if he can get anywhere with this. He needs to win 2 games in a row against one of the best. It's going to be tough. See if he can do it, though. With a good map, I believe that Thantuk could take a game. I mean, maybe even take 2. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Alright, so we're just going to jump right in to game number 2. Right. Game number 2. Sorry, I just got really startled. My dog just snored really loudly, and it made me jump a bit. So, Thantuk spawning at 6 for the map, and Mbe at 9. The players are really close in this setup. Now, Mbe with a lot of forest here to wall off here. Let's take a look at the minimap really quickly before we get too into detail about the maps. As you can see, the crossing is here. There are no more crossings along this whole thing. The wood for Mbe is far superior. And he can wall this off with relative ease, but it's a big scouting task to wall all of that off quickly. But let's take a look at the food. He has the gazelle easily pushed, like right up here. He can push that in with relative ease. Thantuk scattered his gazelle with this scout. This villager, when we were looking at the minimap, this villager came out and scattered these gazelle a bit. This might prove a little bit difficult for him, but maybe he'll just try to wood pit here. It'll be a really dangerous wood pit, as you can't wall it at all. I mean, you can wall it, but you're always going to be threatening to chop through, and a slinger could stand anywhere and just kill all the villas. So let's just see how Thantuk deals with this. This map is, again, not really favoring him, which makes you a little sad, right? Like, in a matchup like this, you'd think if he got a good map, then maybe he'd have a really strong chance. He took down Vudai. And once again, look, that's just gorgeous. Look at how well Mbe has done this. Look at how good that is. All perfectly placed. That's beautiful. Really well played by him. Thantuk? See, is there any... Yeah, Mbe already has a field advantage. Oof. And he's maintaining it, too. That's tough for Thantuk here. Now, Thantuk does have access to this one elephant, which might be critical for him to stay in this game. I mean, one elephant is a lot of food, and Mbe does not have any elephants to work with until he gets to, like, this side of the map. And there are none anywhere over there as well. Where are all the elephants? 1, 2, 3. So we got elephant here, and an elephant here. 2 elephants there, rather. 1 elephant there. Elephant there. Whereas, no elephants for Mbe. There's nothing here. It's all just this hill. This hill is pretty big. I don't know if that's going to come into play, though. The big thing is that this crossing is here. So, for Mbe, he can actually wall this pretty easily. I think this is open here. So he'd have to put like a wall tile here. Actually, that might be closed. I'm not sure. I'd have to check it in-game. I think that closes. Although it might need to be 1 over. And then you can quickly wall this. But yeah, this is wow, 17 already? already with a 2-vil lead. This will be rough. Oh no. Taking a lot of damage. Oh, and Thantuk notices. This is a way to get a... This is a way to deal with a vil deficit, right? If you're behind in vils. Sadly, unable to micro the vils there properly to kill that. Maybe... I think he right-clicked. Let's see. Okay, this villager's on the run for Embe. My gosh. Check the count real quick. 3 villager lead for Thantuk. Not much to say about this right now, except for the fact that Kwang'an Embe just has a much better map currently. Like, his town center is beautiful here still, with the really clean gazelle lure, and it's just going to really give him that fast time. I don't know how many times I can say really, but we see this barracks coming out. It's a nice timing for this. That's a really nice timing. Thantuk, can he wall this map? With this storage pit here, walling, I guess you wall here and you try to wall this and wall that. It's going to be awkward though. It's going to be a really awkward wall off for Thantuk. I don't think Embe is even going to bother about walling. I think he's just going to go full aggro. Yeah, he's going to scout out with these clovers and then devise a plan. But what's that plan going to be? If I had to predict, when he sees a dock block like this, I think that Embe will transition to slingers. Okay, so there's a hole there, so maybe he won't transition to slingers. He might actually upgrade his axers. Yeah, that's a lot of axers. Well, 3 clovers is like a good amount. Any more, and you probably should commit to the axer upgrade. Whereas if you stick at 3 clovers, you can realistically just keep them as clovers without upgrades and go into slingers. But he's going to do the damage upgrade. He thinks that this is open. Or not the damage. He's done the armor upgrade. So that makes these axers now. These are now axers. That makes them much, much more resilient. The dock coming up to mirror Thantuk's dock. Now, these axers are a huge issue for Thantuk. His whole economy is just trapped here. He has to run them. He's running these villagers, but he's leaving these ones here to try to fight. Oh no. Getting the dock block, I guess? But like, you're not... It has 15 health. It's gonna die in 3 hits. You needed to hit it. You needed to hammer that in for a little bit more. Yeah, I think Embe is going to have a really, really distinct advantage here. Actually, not too much of a vil lead, but the... Actually, no, he does have a vil lead because Thantuk has lost 1 or 2, 3, maybe 4, actually, at this point. I don't know, we can check. 4 vil losses for Thantuk, and he hasn't made a military unit yet. So, that's just 4 losses on vils. Thantuk's on the run completely. That's going to be over really quick. Wow, this is really surprising. I was expecting more of a fight from Thantuk in these games as he put up a really strong display against Vudai. Maybe there's something else going on here. I mean, his maps, this game, both games in this set, his maps have been bad. But, yeah. I mean, maybe this is just showing the skill differential between Embe and Vudai, right? Vudai is a very strong player, but, I mean... Kwang'an just had a 19 vil sub 8 time. I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. A lot on wood here. I think we're going to be seeing some more scout ships, although I don't think he really needs to do more scout ships. Maybe he'll be going straight for just fishing boats. Yeah, so that's 3 fishing boats now, and that's going to give him a very large economy lead, and it's going to just start growing and growing, and the timeline is going to shrink until the yellow is non-existent, especially while these villagers are on the run. And I believe that with this village... Man, Embe's just everywhere. I think... Yeah, look at this. His clobber is running. he's microing his clubber around. It's not that Thantuk is playing particularly poorly. It's just he's just a little bit slower, you know. In all regards,
Yes.
he's just a little slower. And there it is, GG. So I guess we expect this in some regards, as Mbe was the #1 seed in this tournament for a reason, and he will now advance because he is the #1 seed to the next one. Anyway, that was a good little series. Very quick, very fast again. Yeah, both games very fast.